Hello and thank you for joining us on TVC News at 4. The People's Democratic Party, led by the acting national chairman, Abdulrahman Mohammed, has elected Mao Ohabua as the chairman of its new board of trustees for the party. Mr. Ohabua was elected on Friday at a ceremony at the FCT Minister's official residence in Abuja. At this event, Issa Dansidi emerged as the secretary of the board. Speaking during the inauguration, Abdulrahman Mohammed said the move is to restore true values to the party and regain public trust. And to the court, Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja has fixed judgment for the 20th of November in the terrorism trial of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Justice Omotosho chose the date while ruling after Mr. Kanu failed to open his defense, having exhausted the 6 days allocated to him by the court to conduct his defense. The judge said Mr. Kanu, having failed to utilize the opportunity granted him to conduct his defense, cannot claim to have been denied the constitutionally guaranteed right to fair hearing. And now to the war on illicit drugs. 5 members of some international organized criminal groups recently arrested by the NDLEA in connection with the seizure of 68.9 kilograms of cocaine and tramadol at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, have been sentenced to a combination of 21 years in prison. They were subsequently arraigned on a 5-count charge before Justice Musa Bekaki of the Federal High Court in Lagos on the 30th of October. The accused persons later pleaded guilty to these charges. Delivering his judgment the following day, Justice Bekaki sentenced each of them to 5 years in prison without the option of fine, bringing the total number of years in jail for the 3 of them to 15 years. The First Lady of Kwara State, Olufolake Abdulrazak, and other notable speakers have commended the Water Light Save initiative launch of the IL Framework Blueprint Initiative through inclusivity and sustainability. They gave the commendation at the 2nd World Summit for Social Development, OHA 2025. The summit presented unique opportunities for meaningful conversations to address challenges at all levels, from high-level political dialogue to policy-oriented discussions.
Ensuring that everyone has an equal opportunity to thrive by addressing systemic inequalities. I'm sure you know we First Ladies, this is where we thrive, in challenging systemic inequalities. We are the soft power, we raise our voices, and we try to get things to change. Women and girls and the youth particularly need to be strategically placed and equipped in this quest so as to be able to harness the opportunities. It is in this regard that we have been equipping our women and youth with requisite skills, as I said. Our skills acquisition programs have included things like baking and confectionery, drone technology for farmers.
Meanwhile, Chairman, Senate Committee on Finance, Sani Musa, has called for increased investment in Nigeria, saying that the country has been positioned for accelerated economic growth under President Bola Tinubu's reform agenda. He made this comment while delivering a keynote titled "De-risking and Driving Capital, Financing Africa's Investment Gap" at St. Peter's College, University of Oxford, during a global business forum organized by Oxford Africa Governance Forum. The lawmaker representing Niger East in the Senate said Nigeria's macroeconomic stabilization effort and demographic advantages makes it the continent's most strategic destination for long-term investment, also adding that the early economic challenges are beginning to yield improvement.
The reforms policy that this administration has set, I will give kudos to Mr. President, because he is not just doing it as a political strategy, he's doing it economically in order to keep a footprint even after him. The policies we are bringing, if you look at our tax laws, we have different kind of tax laws that have been archaic. So we have to make our laws in line with any other so that it will meet international best practices as it is done in other economies.
I mean, if we can move from the aid to alignment, or from a project to platforms, as well as from a policy statements to bankable structures, then what will happen? The topic we are talking about today, the Africa's 200 billion gap can transform from the challenge into an investment opportunity. Yeah.
Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Nnamdi Kanu, has challenged young Nigerians who constitute over 60% of the nation's population to actively engage in the ongoing constitution review process. Mr. Kanu emphasized the importance of having youth perspectives at the center of national decision-making. He made the call when he hosted the Emerging Political Leaders Fellowship Program of the Bridge Leadership Foundation, Calabar, led by former Governor Leo Lemoke. The Deputy Speaker encouraged young people to continuously improve themselves and seek knowledge to contribute meaningfully to governance.
As Nigeria evolves, we need leaders who are not just leaders by title. We need leaders who are groomed. We need leaders who understand what it means to be a leader at various levels. We need leaders who have been exposed to leadership, who have been exposed to what it takes to actually face challenges.
As a lawyer and a parliamentarian, I have come to understand that the power to legislate carries with it an obligation to be measured, an obligation to be principled, an obligation to be in relentless pursuit of justice.
The National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism is set to showcase the richness of African cultural heritage through eulogy, the traditional art of praise poetry that celebrate identity, lineage, and excellence. According to the Director General of this institute, Abisoyi Fagade, by embracing eulogy, both organizations reaffirmed their commitment to preserving and promoting indigenous African traditions as part of its cultural tourism and creative education agenda. It says the partnership with Novarista positions Nigeria as a leader on the world stage where culture meets hospitality and tradition fuels innovation.
It's my honor and privilege to formally announce the hosting of Mega Renewed Hope Now Talk Astronomy Festival, scheduled for Saturday, 6th of December 2025. This year edition, themed Oriki, Taste of Culture, is proud expression of the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, an agenda designed to empower Nigerians, drive inclusive economic growth. As administration, we're looking at economic growth, youth development, job creation. We've done data mapping that, is going to speak arithmetically to our clarity as to be able to do that. We will continue to work with the agency to ensure that we do that, and I think this is really part of that wonderful process and doing it in the most wonderful, engaging and creatively cultural way.
Leadership is crucial. There's nothing much we can do if we don't have people who are committed, not just competent, but they are committed with a deep passion to make an impact. And from the interactions we've had so far, we can say that the DG of this institute is somebody we can classify as such.